Hello and welcome to this edition of Broome Up Front. I'm your host, Ben Drooney. Today we'll have a great show for you filled with the hottest news in gaming, as well as joined by a fellow gamer and classmate here at BCC. But first we start with the news that matters to you. Starting off our broadcast with the poster child company of gaming, Nintendo's newest anticipated game, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which is slated for release this November, is confirmed to include a new feature exclusive to the game and new to the franchise. This notable feature to the game is the implementation of Wii Motion Plus, which allows players to take full control of weapon throwing as well as full control over Link's sword to fight evil. Fans should be pleased by this new feature as it will allow them for more precise control of the character in battle and in gameplay. In preparation and to draw excitement for the imminent release of Sonic Generations, which is slated for release this November for all consoles, Sega has confirmed that a second demo will be available for the online market for both Xbox 360 consoles and PS3. Due to the positive reception that was received by the release of the demo back in June, Sega is confident that the release of this current demo will please fans as it will now allow them to play as modern Sonic, whereas the previous demo only allowed them to play as classic Sonic. With the release of Halo 4 still years away from the present time, Microsoft has announced the re-release of Halo Combat Evolved as part of its 10th anniversary celebration. The 10th anniversary edition of the noteworthy video game franchise is said to be newly remastered, as well as include the return of maps such as High Noon, Ridgeline, and much more. Fans will also be pleased that these maps are utilized by the Halo Reach engine and can also be merged with the server for an enjoyable playing experience. With the success of the games of the fighting genre this year, Namco Soul Calibur 5 is no exception, and has fans stoked to have fighting games ready to fight once again. The only downside is the recent reveal of its release date to be January 30th in early 2012. However, much like the success of other games such as Capcom's Street Fighter 4 and NetherRealm Studios' Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur 5 is no doubt going to draw mass attention to both fans and gamers, much like its previous sequels, until and upon its early release next year. And now for our sports pick of this evening. Tonight's sports pick is THQ's WWE 12, which is also slated for a November release. Today's news on WWE 12 is the recent announcement of former WWE wrestler, now film superstar, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to the roster of the game's Special Collector's Edition. With his match against John Cena at next year's WrestleMania still on notice, The Rock's confirmation of appearance in the game was thanks to a major amount of fan requests, who asked for his appearance to coincide with his upcoming match. Look for the Special Collector's Edition to get your hands on this special treat before they're gone. And now a word from fellow BCC student on campus. When we come back, we will have a special interview with a student on the subject of gaming and in and out of his side of his life here at BCC. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Zach Hatland, the floor director of this episode of Broome Up Front. My job is telling them to stretch out, ask more questions, do more stuff, fill more time, or wrap it up. Tell them to, stop talking, roll with stuff. And I also count them in for when the show starts, tell them when it starts. It's a good job, it's fun.
I'm Lauren, and I was the camera person, and my job is to focus on, the two people, the host, the interviewee, change the cameras when they need to be changed, switch them around, do whatever the director tells me to do. So.
I guess you're trying to figure out what my job is. Yeah, so what I do is I cue the mics, and so in camera lingo, shh, Lauren, I'm on camera. And what I'll do is I'll mute. See that? Or unmute them so that we can hear what's going on and kind of transition into commercials and whatnot like that. So that's pretty much my job, is to control the sound. And there's John over there. You might want to ask him a couple questions.
Hi there. My job is to play back or roll the footage that plays between or out or after the segments of Broome Up Front.
Basically, I am the director's hands. So if you look up on the screen, when he wants a certain shot, he tells me what to do, tells me which one he wants to get ready, and then I take it, and it changes. So that's basically what I do. And I expose murderers, like Sebastian Keller. He's an evil, evil man.
Yeah!
He killed my wife, Lauren. He killed
Yeah! It happened. We weren't supposed to say anything.
Called me up, and he's like, "You make your family so much better than us." I said,
Hello everyone and welcome back to this episode of Broome Up Front. Ben Sperduti here again, and we are now joined by Caleb Donovic, a fellow gamer as well as fellow student here at BCC. Today we'll be discussing his favorite games as well as how his gaming affects his life here at the college and the rest of the outside world. Caleb, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, thank you, Ben.
Good. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here. So tell us, what is your favorite gaming console?
I generally prefer PC games to most console games.
What is your most favorite game on the console, since you favor that one?
I prefer StarCraft and StarCraft 2 and other real-time strategy games.
Very, two very well received games as well. Tell us, what is your least favorite game on the console, perhaps?
I generally try not to play games I don't like, so I don't know if I could pick out a game that I like least. But there's been a number of first-person shooters that I didn't enjoy so much, such as Call of Duty 2. I thought it was a lot of fluff and not much gameplay.
Yes, unfortunately, the word has been that a lot of the recent first-person shooters are awfully cookie-cutter and that they're not really living up to expectation. In opinion, mind you, but that's kind of what the general consensus is trying to go around. Now, when you play these games, usually do you play them online?
I generally play online. I find playing by oneself much less enjoyable than with other people.
Definitely, it adds some variety to that. Do you usually play with a specific group of people, or do you just go online and just play with anyone and everyone?
I generally just play online with random people. I mean, it can be hard to find time to play with one's friends, but it's always more enjoyable when one can.
Definitely. Now, are there any of the games in the upcoming months that you're looking forward to? Like maybe perhaps any of the ones that I may have mentioned?
Sure, Soul Calibur looks good. I like fighting games in general, and when I play console games, those are some of the games I like most.
Yes, personally I'm looking forward to the Soul Calibur 5 as well. I played Soul Calibur 4 a lot and enjoyed it very much. Now, do you really think that gaming interferes with your studies here at BCC, perhaps?
Not really for myself, but I'm sure there are other students who let gaming control their life and play far too many video games and when they should be studying.
Yes, I do believe that it is a problem. Maybe not a major one, but it does exist. Do you think it interferes with their work, perhaps, like their jobs and such?
I think it's completely conceivable. I mean, if people are letting video games interfere with their regular, their school life, I can't imagine that they would have much problem with letting it interfere with their, work life as well.
Definitely. Do you have any friends here at BCC who are about as equally into the gaming scenario as you are?
Sure. I mean, I have friends that are far more into gaming than I am. I don't play a whole lot of video games. I probably play every day, but I don't play for hours and hours.
Right. Since you're so good at the balancing of the homework and video games, do you have any tips that you could probably give our audience today in terms of how to balance that out nicely?
Well, I think any tip would be pretty obvious. Only play video games when you have time to. Don't play video games when you should be doing your schoolwork.
Definitely, and I know that it'll be also hard to resist the urge to sit right down. Well, thank you very much, Caleb. I appreciate you coming to us here with the show at Broome Up Front. And that's all the time we have for today's show. Join us next week for a brand new installment of Broome Up Front. This is Ben Sperduti saying goodnight and keep those fit thumbs pumping.